What do you think Petro is worth in the open market? Like financially, not just what he's looking for, but what would be a reason?
Market?
Today's market, I know it's COVID and a flat cap and all that, but what is Alex Pietrangelo? What would he be seeking, or what type of money would a team be throwing at him?
I think he will get 7 years. Let's say if he's not St. Louis, 7 or 8 years, and it will be $8.5 million per. Around $8 million, 8 to 8.5. Now, I think if none of this had happened this last year, it would have been 9-ish, maybe more than 9.
Right.
But I think because of what's happened, it's going to be much closer to 8. So I think there's not enough extra money lying around to bump on those extra millions and stuff. So I think, 7 for 8, 7 years, $8 million per, something like that for Petro.
Yeah, that sounds, I guess, about right. I mean, I'm still trying to adjust to COVID and the flat cap because we had the conversation earlier in the week, and I think, like, if you look at what Yossi got, I'd be asking for the same thing. If I'm Pietrangelo,
that's
look at
9.5, right?
Exactly.
Yossi's also younger, and I think the concern is, given what's happened since with the flat cap and the changing CBA, if you make a mistake on a long-term big money contract, it gets that much worse because the cap's not going to grow up to continue to minimize the effect of that contract. The percentage of the cap for his $8 million is going to be 10% for the next 5. I don't think the cap's going up for 5 or 6 years. I just don't think, given what's going to happen, the guys won't be able to pay off the escrow in time. I think the CBA is going to be at 81, whatever it is, 81.5 for the next 5 or 6 years. So if you make a mistake on a guy who can't play anymore because he's 34, and you got 4 more years, whether you got to buy him out or he's on your team just not playing up to that contract, it becomes that much more punitive. So I'm with you. And if I'm Petro, he's had his best year of his career, I think, this year. And it's easy to look at Yossi and say, hey, give me that and I'm cool. The world's changed.
Well, you're right. The world's changed, and I just don't know if the team has it. I can't see St. Louis going, we'll give you Yossi's deal to stay. Based on they've got Falk there on the right side. They've got big right-handed shot, St. Albert. Colton Parayko there. That's the concern. I mean, I'm signing Pietrangelo every day of the week and making Falk available if I'm St. Louis, personally.
Of course.
It's not even a comparison. But, I don't know if maybe Falk is their fallback guy if they can't get Petro sorted out. I mean, Parayko can push through to be a number one guy, in my opinion, so maybe they think they've got a soft landing there. I don't know. He's such a fantastic player.
Someone's going to pay him.
Well,
that's the whole
sure
thing. You're speaking as if you're being sensible, Johnny. I mean, that's fine. That's all good.
Sorry, my bad.
But that's not the way it usually works, right? All you need is a guy. You know what the agent's going to – I'm not sure who his agent is. But
Newport.
Okay,
Newport.
so it's Newport.
It's our guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's our guys.
You know how they're going to be pushing. And they should be pushing. They should be saying, listen, I get COVID and all that, but Roman Yossi's number is still staying at 9.5. He's not rolling back because the world has come to an end. Drew Doughty's still at 11. Erik Karlsson's at 11. I'm not taking 8 for a guy who just won a Stanley Cup 2 years ago, who just had arguably his best year, is the position of need for every team in the NHL. A right shot number one defenseman.
First pair.
Yeah, first pairing guy. And I think it's gonna get to 9. I do. I think it may not be above, far above 9, but I would think a happy medium would be you got to show the respect that's necessary here. And I'll take a bit of a cut because I should actually leapfrog Yossi because we're a year ahead based on the way business generally works. So I will give you a COVID cut. I'll go $500,000 under a year ahead, but I'm still taking 9.
Yeah.
And I think if St. Louis isn't willing to take it, even more important he gets that money because he'll be shaving a year off the term. He can't get 8 years anywhere else. He can only get 7. So
the Blues right now have $2 million of space next year without Petro signed.
You're telling me Winnipeg wouldn't give him $9 million a year?
Oh.
You don't think Winnipeg would give him $9 million? I think
Toronto would. You don't think Toronto would?
I don't know if Toronto would because
I don't know if Toronto would
because of Tavares, Matthews, and Marner.
Right.
I don't know if they want to add a fourth.
Here's the thing.
He's up in 4 years though. He's gonna be gone. This is their time. You know what? 4 years you got.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Johnny, is they might look at that and say that $9 million's got to go to 6 different players. We got to balance our roster out. is how I think the Leafs would look at it. It's not that they would love Pietrangelo, who wouldn't. It's that can they afford one more guy at a massive number, which drags money out of the rest of the pot and the rest of the roster.
You take Kapanen for 3.5, you trade it, and you replace him with $1 million player. You take Johnson for 3.5, you replace a $1 million player. There's $6 million. You get rid of Barry and Ceci. There's another $6 million. That's $12 million.
Oh, they're going to have the room. They'll have the room to offer it.
Give me Petro at 8, and I got $4 million to replace Johnson and Kapanen.
But that's what you're saying. You're saying give me Petro at 8, and Brian's saying he doesn't sign it for 8.
Yeah, why is he signing for 8?
You want for 8. You're Joe from the bridge all of a sudden.
He wore Leaf pajamas. No,
yeah, exactly.
Him and JT were having a sleepover, and they had their Leaf PJs on.
And we just mentioned who his agency is. There's not a discount.
Sorry, Pat.
Newport Sports, they know how to get contracts done. Put it that way. So I don't know. The only thing I can think of is the creativity. Now he's turning 31 in January, I believe. Like, is a 7 or 8 year deal on the table, or is it more money, less term? Shorter term, but now you got to pay for that shorter term, right? That's the crazy stuff. We got to get into that later.
Not many good teams have good money around, though. That's the problem. Like
you're right.
He can go get $12 million from Detroit or Ottawa or some, a team he doesn't want to play for because they're not good right now. He wants to play for a good team, and there's not a lot of money.
There's probably 7 or 8 teams he'd be willing to even listen on. Yeah, maybe not even that much.
If you're going to get pinched, you might as well get pinched and stay the same.
And
spot where you're the captain.
You're right. Here's another scenario, too. If you're just looking at take-home money, well, you look at tax situations, too, right? Like, tax-free states, that type of stuff. Like, St. Louis, I think, is I played there for 4 years. Johnny, you played there. I think that they're not, it's not a tax-free state, but I'm saying it's decent. It's reasonable. Like, you go to Toronto, but, like, say you go to Alberta. Like, Alberta is 39% federal. That's it. So who knows? That has to be factored in as well as how much you take home, not how much you make.
I like how you defer to me for the tax rates in all the states.
Well, you have a degree in finance. You're not. I'm not gonna. That's what you went to school for, allegedly.
Yes,
allegedly. It's a strong allegation. I like that.
Yes.